I have a video call from Randall Scott.
I'll start rambling now. Sorry guys about that technical problem at my end. For some reason I was disconnected from the rest of you while you were all quite enjoying chatting to one another. Just adding one more person in and we'll start part 2 of the... There we go. So,
please let's hope there's no part 3.
Yes, if the Google gods will shine upon us, we will be okay. Right, away we go again. Sorry, as I was saying, we were chatting to Christian, then I must out Heath, unfortunately due to the disconnection. If we move on to Lou. Hi Lou, how are you?
Just fine. Glad to have you back. We talked bad about you while you were gone.
All true. What are you working on, or have you got back into anything from after being back from Wonderfest?
I'm back from Wonderfest, and I am sorting and cleaning and putting things away and getting other things out on the bench. So really, I haven't done jack all this week. So kind of taking a come down from all of the plastic and resin and kind of recharging the batteries and getting ready to jump back on the horse. But nothing much to show for this week as itself.
Was there any new kits of interest at Wonderfest that you could tell us about, or?
Well, you know, there weren't any really big announcements that I saw. I saw that Round 2 is coming out with they had some mock-ups there. They had the 1,000 scale Reliant, which looked pretty good. They had they're doing a booster pack for their Eagle with the additional booster engines and bells that went on the top of the spine, and also they're introducing another cargo module that had I don't know the technical term for it, which episode it was in, but it has the extra thrusters out the sides, and it was a larger module. But
the science module, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But you know, some smaller announcements like that, but no new big. Here's a new kit that we're kind of coming out. They had some more details on their shuttlecraft kit, but it's still in the future. They had a lot of coming soon signs up. Pegasus table. Larry had had that big Moonhopper kit that apparently they're only going to be selling through their site. I don't know if they're going to be reselling that or retailing that, but it's friggin' huge. The ball is about the size of a basketball. It's based on Randy Cooper's design, but it's 1,000,007 parts, that type of thing. They also did. They had chrome versions of their T2 kits that they're going to be selling through their site. Chromed versions of the tank and chromed versions of the HK that look very nice.
And we'll move on to Randall. Hi Randall, what are you up to? How is it going?
Well, at the minute, just still working away on this Firefly tank, putting some weathering on the thing, and I know it's not quite up to like Andy's or Craig's efforts on their Tiger 1 and Nighthorn, but it's the first tank I've done in over 30 years, so bear with me.
It's 1/72nd scale, I think, isn't it?
Yep. The old Matchbox kit that Revell repopped a few years ago.
Yeah.
Added a few things to it, headlights and lifting loops from red wire and stuff like that. Otherwise, the original model was a bit on the plain side, like this one that I built 30 years ago.
And you still have it? Very good.
Yeah. Never threw anything away.
That's true. Well, if only wives would agree with that, it'd be great.
Oh.
Myself. Sorry, it's a pity Jack's not here today because the whole group build sort of thing that we agreed on a couple of episodes back, and he sent me the Christine model of the Plymouth Fury, the movie Christine, and then Andy was doing Ecto one, as was Andy Johns as well. Andy Coletti and Andy Johns were doing the Ecto one, which they don't want to talk about. And he's
I've got a nice little model here, but it's not the car that I'm building for the car build. My car builds a Batmobile.
Yeah.
But this is my 1/24th scale Aston Martin. This is the cab. This is the chassis part with the roll cage. This is the 2007 Golf DBR9. That's the chassis and the roll cage and stuff. I just did that today. There's the that's the shell. That's the shell. Here's the body. This is the sky blue with a black outline and a black interior. So the windows all go in there on both sides, and of course comes with a wing. I just finished this part just this afternoon. So it's probably my first car I've built in 10 years.
Will it be your last?
No, it won't be my last.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of. I've got a NASCAR build that I want to do after the Batmobile, which is late great Dale Earnhardt, and alongside the Aston Martin, I'm building a Boeing 737, which is a 1/44th scale. And I've done some painting with it already.
Are you doing it as an Air New Zealand?
There we are. I've got to give it another coat though. This is a 1/44th scale.
Yeah.
And this also has an old airline company that we used to have over here in Australia. I don't know if people have heard of, but we had Ansett. That's the one I'm. That's the one I'm building there. That one just there.
At the bottom?
The bottom one.
Yeah.
And then after the 737, I got my 172. I got my 172 Spitfire. So yeah, that's my bench.
Right, keeping busy.
Nice wee kit.
Pardon?
Nice little kit.
Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 172 scale.
I know the Christine kit's keeping me occupied now, and I mean obviously I need to get stuck into it. I mean I've been doing the first time I've been doing a car kit and trying to get the quality of finish on the thing that I can, you know, with repeated primer and sanding and getting rid of all the red plastic, because it was a bright red plastic which apparently caused a lot of people problems when they painted the white top. I'm still deciding about whether to chrome it or not, whether to use the existing chrome or remove the chrome and redo it, because the chrome on the kit is obviously very shiny.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's whether it's just too unrealistic, and should I remove all that, paint it black and then use an all-clad on it? I'm not sure yet. Someone recommended using bare metal foil for the body parts, which is another technique for car chroming. No one's used it, no?
No. It sounds kind of fiddly.
I hope it works better than the chrome paint from Halfords.
Right, yeah. And what would you use as a primer for that? Just our car primer? Sorry,
Just for
Andy?
the chrome.
Yeah, for the chrome, just ordinary car primer?
Yeah, but it's even after 24 hours of curing, you put your fingers on it, and it dulls it straight away.
Right.
Don't even touch it before you put a coat of lacquer or something on it.
Yeah. I must look at that and see as an alternative. I may or may not, and then I have to look at the lighting as well, which is another issue. Thankfully, there's someone in the UK now selling the 0805 SMDs pre-wired. Very reasonably priced as well, at a place called Model Lighting Solutions. I'll just show you how small they are, and again, I know some of you are probably familiar with these, but they are ridiculously small. Comes pre-wired with resistors for 9 volt or 12 volt use. So if I get this in the center of the screen somewhere.
Which size is it? 403 or?
That's an 0805.
Oh, that's a big one.
Wow.
Oh, I know it. I have managed to solder an 0603 myself, but it just took so long that I thought I'd just order up some of these for the care kit. Amazingly bright for the size of them. I think they'd be useful for anyone doing an enterprise or something for doing the spotlighting, because you can fit them anywhere with no problem at all. And then the other thing, from having done the X-Wing, I think I've gotten a Star Wars bug, because I went mad this week and ordered another one.
He's going to have red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4, red 5.
I made use of red 5 this time instead of red 3 that I did the last time. But I rushed the last one to get it finished in time for a build, so I'm going to take my time more with that one. And I thought then, when I was at it, I may as well get...
Oh.
While you're at it, sure, while you're at it.
But that, again,
How can you get that past your
the
wife?
finals kit was 180 pounds for the cheapest here. This was 27 pounds from Amazon, the new kit.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, it's surprisingly nicely finished. It's much better than I thought it would be in terms of the finish of the kit. I'll just give you a quick preview. I know Neil Wooding was trying to join us there a few minutes ago. We just want to talk about Neil's kit as well. I actually have it here. I can let you see it. But the detail on the Millennium Falcon, I don't know. I've lost my.
Here's mine.
It comes painted.
It comes painted, which I'll be removing. You know, it comes pre-finished. Trying to get in really close to some of the detail.
Well, that's why they call it an easy kit.
Yeah, you know. So I've been comparing it with the Fine Molds kit. And an awful lot of the detail is actually remarkably good for what it is. A lot of the things like pipes and so on, I'll be removing and redoing them with actual solid core piping. Don't know how well it's showing up, but I mean it's well, the difference is I think there's 39 parts in this kit, where the Fine Molds kit is 900.
Yeah.
So
and but that's the same as mine. That's the same as mine, Liam.
Yeah.
You have a look.
Yeah.
And here.
I can tell you for an easy kit.
Oh, you have all, and these are all the same easy kit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What I was wondering, you see, that you can get the photo etch kit for the Fine Molds one, and that's also 1/72 scale. What my question was, I wonder if the photo etch will work with the Revell kit.
I haven't really tried, but
Right.
I think it does, Liam. I think you can use them. I mean, you can light it.
They're both 1/72 scale, so I may invest in it. But again, it's a long. That'll end up being another one of the later in the year projects. I mentioned about Neil Wooding from Wild House Models. Beg your pardon. Neil's kit. A couple of people have reviewed it now, and I've had this for a while. Because I did
the stasis tube. The stasis tube.
Yeah. It is
really nice.
It's a 3D. It is a 3D printed kit. Originally, it was all done in AutoCAD and then 3D printed. And the quality, it just doesn't look like a 3D print. Normally, you see sort of like horizontal lines where the 3D printer has passed back and forth.
Right.
They aren't evident in this at all. What happened was they made a 3D print of it. Then they made molds of all the parts.
That's what I was figuring. Yeah.
Yeah. But sorry, you can see the inside where the sort of they're all separate panels. All the inside pieces, all of the tubing and so on are all separate pieces. Unfortunately, this one was built with a fixed door, just as a photography model, and it's obviously unpainted. It also has the little lighting board,
Nice.
So it comes with a lighting board?
Well, lighting board's an option. It's actually Bernie Pottrell, who you've probably seen Bernie's name. Bernie designed the board. It's based on a little Arduino that's programmed. You've got a standard USB connector, so it'll run off any USB power.
So that's what powers it.
Yes, it powers it. So again, it's a lot simpler maybe to do it that way. It also has a magnetic switch. I may try powering it for you in a little minute. It just takes a minute or two to connect it up. It also has a hidden magnetic switch.
What is the front canopy made of?
Sorry, it's
the clear part.
I don't know. I assume it's the same material in a clear, like a poly something or other, but I'm not sure about that one. Lou. I need to ask him for you.
Yeah.
It comes with the lighting kit comes with a little controlling strip. Now there's a magnet in this card. Basically, you just pass the card over the model, and that activates the different modes.
Interesting.
I know, funny enough, Martin Boyer, who I think most of you will know the name from Space 1999 fame.
Right.
He's bought 6 of the kits, but not for to build them as a cryotube. He wants them for something else because he sees it as usable as he always does. You know, he'll take this and do something completely different with it.
Oh yeah.
And there's a figure.
Does the door actually close?
No, that's the problem, Heath. On this one, it will close if you build it properly. But this was built. This was the first kit made. This was the first one that was created, and it was just put together very quickly for photographic reasons. Or will go up and down if you wanted to. If I get it, I'll just try in a second. I'll try and get the lighting working if I can, but I don't have a USB power plug here at the minute. I forgot to bring one with me to the garage. But I know the next stage is they're working on a medical console to go with it. So the console will control the cryostasis tube as well, so you can build the console. The one complaint that everyone seems to be making in the reviews is that it doesn't come with painting instructions. I think that's the point. It's entirely up to your imagination.
Right.
And some of the visualized or pre-visualized parts are the AutoCAD drawings that have been pre-visualized. The guys finish it in a sort of a copper finish and things like that. It just looks amazing. So my intention with this one is to hopefully take it apart by just basically using very hot water to release all of the CA glue, paint it and rebuild it again. But it was done like this initially just for photographic reasons. I mean, if that's what I was going to say to you, Lou, with regard to Wonderfest, were there any garage kits of interest other than the Bird of Prey?
Well, now Tracy at his table had the 1,000 scale JJ Enterprise, which put it about a foot long, so about maybe 2/3 the size of the Revell kit, but it was solid. I mean, you could light the nacelles fronts, but you couldn't really do anything with the windows that I could tell.
Yeah.
That was about, and I'm trying to think. I don't know if you guys got the Lex series over there, but there was a gentleman who had a couple of kits from that show that he does excellent work. I've got most of his Farscape kits, but I'm trying to think of as far as new releases that were garage kits. I know Steve had some variants of his sci-fi scenes, you know, the smaller figure like Kogar and whatnot. You know, variations for the ape suit, so that you could do various King Kongs and whatnot. But I'm trying to think, there wasn't any great big new got-to-have garage kit that I saw.
I mean, what sort of the Bird of Prey? I mean, what sort of cost are you talking about that, for example?
Oh, I didn't even get near to that because I was afraid it would be too tempting. I saw it from a distance and did my praise of it, but I'm afraid if I actually looked at it, it would start to become a reality, and I'd have to back away.
Well, yeah.
But something like that, you'd have to have your own room for. I mean, that is, I know the company that makes or that's selling it now is not, I don't think, the same guy, because it was, I believe, Richard Long that created the patterns for it. And then I think he sold the patterns to this Nyson Models company. I don't think it's the same guy.
I think
I don't think it's the same guy selling it that was the guy who created it. And I did see, to take it back, I did see Time Slip over in the other room. They had an engine, the nacelle from their studio scale Enterprise refit, the 8-foot one that they're making, and they had one of the nacelles there. And I talked to George about it. I said, expect to see more pieces. He can't keep up with orders. He's got so many of those things being ordered by people that he can't keep up with them. It's amazing how many people are going to be.
Where would you put an 8-foot model?
What's that?
Where would you put an 8-foot model? That's.
I have no idea. I would probably have to build a room onto the house for it.
Yeah.
But apparently it's going well for them. They're producing parts all the time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting that saucer in the mail? Just getting the pieces for it.
I got this big box here for you.
And they've cut the saucer in half.
Oh.
So it's not a full saucer. It's the top comes in 2 halves and the bottom comes in 2 halves.
Really?
Well, they joined the seam is seamless when you put it together because they found where the symmetry line was, and it's a snap to put together, but even at that, the boxes have got to be huge.
And even painting and so on, you would almost need a garage paint setup.
Well, that's just it. You couldn't even get it if it was all one piece. You couldn't get it through a door.
Well, look at
plus,
the
of course,
balls in a prize kit.
You would need a garage to build it because, you'd never get that out through your ordinary door.
Yeah. And when you talk about 8-foot, is that 8-foot diameter of the saucer or 8-foot in total length?
8-foot total length. It's the same filming size, so it's about maybe a 4-foot, a little over 4-foot diameter saucer.
I wasn't aware of that. Now I wasn't aware that someone was doing one that size.
Yeah, it's studio scale.
You got to imagine being in your garage working on it and like on a little trolley line under it, painting it. If it comes off its stilts, it's going to crush you. It's like working on a car. It's working on a car. Like if you're going under that thing to wire it, it's going to crush you. You know what I mean? It's huge.
Yeah, I could just see somebody crawling on their back on one of those floor jacks, just scooting around, painting under the bottom like
going along. And
that would be huge. If anybody's seen Simon Merck's the Bora's Enterprise he's building,
yeah.
That is bigger than the 3. What Simon was saying is that the Bora's kit is a hell of a lot bigger than the 350.
Yes, it is.
I think it's 44 inches. No, it's not 44 inches. It's something in between.
I think it's about
half as big.
44 inches bigger than the 350 scale.
But again, the amount of time and effort, it takes long enough to do a refit, a 350 refit. To do the DeBoers is a full-time occupation because there's all to be done in it.
I could not, to be honest, I could not do it. I could do a 350.
The hard thing about the DeBoers is it's got far fewer pieces. You can't get into the parts that you can get into on the 350. You can't get into the neck. The neck comes to you. It's hollow. You can put, you can pass wires down through it, but you can't split the secondary hull apart. You have to work down the neck to actually put lights in there. So you can't put windows in from the inside, that kind of stuff. If you bore those windows out, they stay out. There's no way to put glass in the windows from the inside. You have to work on that from the outside.
Yeah. Especially with the arboretums.
Well, that's just it. You can't. He's going to have to build. He wants to build a shuttle bay, but he's going to have to build it outside and then kind of shove it up into the kit because there's no way to tear that secondary hull apart to put the shuttle bay in.
Yeah, because
You would
the
destroy
thing
that structure.
what I've been seeing is with Simon, he's cut out the shuttle door,
Right.
and basically there's a hole there where the shuttle's going to be, the shuttle
Right.
bay is going to be. But Simon's saying the one problem, as you said, Lou, the one problem he's going to have is trying to get the shuttle deck in there.
Right. The board actually has a lot less detail to it than the 350 does.
It's more like a smoothing.
Well, yeah, it's a lot smoother, but I mean, it has a lot less physical detail to it. You know all that stuff's supposed to be there from building the 350.
I suppose that's why people are building the 350 scales.
Yeah.
Just a question to Andy Johns and Christian today. Since this is your first Hangout, is there anything you would like to see in future Hangouts, or is any comments as to how the thing progresses and the sort of things we talk about?
I would pretty much enjoy a host being there all the time, but I'm happy to be with you guys.
Ooh, yes, you'll be getting the invite next week.
I screwed it up. No.
I know it's the case of
I was
saying, and I don't know what the technical issue was at this end. Obviously something went wrong, but at least I didn't disconnect all of you. All chat to one another. What about you, Andy? Anything, you know?
I mean, I guess the one thing that's been handy, just talking to you, talking to Andy and Craig is the sharing of tips. Things that you think everyone will know, but don't. I mean, I've learned stuff off of Andy that's been really helpful. Maybe just for fun and a top 3 tips. Just think of some things that you find that you maybe found out on the internet from other people. And just here's tip 1, and
each of us maybe has an expert area that they're really good at. Lou, obviously, masking and everything to do with the painting side of things. Andy, I think, can put his hand to anything. It seems to be. Apart from Ecto 1, we won't mention Ecto 1, but
No, we won't. No.
I know. All right, I start talking about that.
He is not listening. He is not listening.
But everyone has their own sort of area of expertise or something that they're really interested in, be it cars or be it. I mean, most of us are into the spacecraft side of things. That's clear. The sci-fi side.
The thing I like is that there's more than just sci-fi guys here. We've got car builders, we've got armourers, we've got figures and figure builders and stuff like that. And like the piece you were showing, Liam, the stasis
pod.
Pod.
And I think about this as well as this is where it's going. Modelling. I don't think it's that far remote that 3D printers will come down in price phenomenally. In the way that the first bubble jet printers when they first came out were crazy money. But I would say it'll be a short-term thing that the printers will come down to an affordable price.
Well, there was an article I was reading the other day about a similar technology a couple of years back, and basically the better, I can't remember the name of it. I was trying to tell a guy the other day. There's a particular type of 3D printing which gives you the best quality, which is using a laser to excite or to heat the plastic.
Yeah, which is how this one was done.
Yeah, the patent for that is due to expire this year. Now, apparently, with this other technology, as soon as the main patent ran out, everybody jumped on doing their own versions of it. Mm-hmm. Within a year, the technology that they were talking about went from thousands to hundreds of pounds to buy, and they're expecting within the next year 3D printers to go from being really expensive, but everyone, a few people can afford them, to everybody having them on their desktops. So I thought that was really interesting, and for us, I think that's going to be an absolute godsend. But it does make me worry about how 3D printing will affect the overall modelling industry. If all of a sudden we can download a model and print it out, what's going to happen to round 2? And
well, I could see.
Sorry, Lou.
No, I was going to say I could see, a day when if we have these 3D printers on our desk, if round 2 or Mobius wants to, release a model, they can say, okay, well, we can sell you the physical model, or for $29.95 at Shapeways, you can download the parts and print your own.
Yeah.
They still be creating the model, and they still be controlling availability of it by having to buy the parts.
Yeah.
But I could see that being a tremendous shift away from having to order something online when you can download the files for the parts, and maybe it's they could do that now with movies. You get a a 24-hour window or something. You can download. You have the rights to download this part for 24 hours, so that you can download it once and print it, and maybe it's watermarked in such a way that you can't print it more than once or something like that.
I've
I've had a very busy day.
Okay, Heath. And,
Hey, Heath.
great to see you. Sorry about the disaster earlier on.
That's all right, guys. I'll see you all next time.
See you in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Bye, guys.
No,
Yeah.
No, I think the thing with 3D.
Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
No, I think with the 3D printer, when it becomes affordable, it's like from a scratch building point of view. If you want to make your own crazy starship, then you can go, right, well, I've got a Voyager hull here, but I don't want to have to go buying a kit for this and so on this, and you can doodle your own, print it out, and you're going to see a lot of people making their own stuff. I don't think it'll affect the big model companies, because, to be honest, the time and effort to design your own 350 scale ship, you can buy one for 100 quid. But
well, that's just it. There's a big learning gap of actually how to create the part before you can print it.
Well, there is, but there's thousands out
massive.
there.
But there are thousands of 3D designs already online. I mean, you can go and buy a 3D design. If you're doing a CGI movie or something, you can go and get an Enterprise or
there are forums.
Whatever.
You can just join the forum, download somebody's, Defiant, and all you're going to do then.
There's a lot of builders like me who are mostly computer illiterate, like things like that. I wouldn't know where to start to get the parts.
See, I'm the same. I wouldn't have a clue with the software side of it. I wouldn't have. I'd have to learn.
Yeah.
But I definitely will see. I think we definitely will see it having an impact. Maybe in unknown areas. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But if the price drops, the technology everyone will want it to be able to do it themselves. So
it's going to be awesome.
I think it could be a good thing, because if you've got a subject from a movie that may not warrant a huge release in styrene and tooling costs and all that, if that same studio wants to release a 3D printed model of that, it would actually be a lot easier, because they could amortize their CG costs they can offset that by releasing a model.
Yeah. It's one of the things.
It may not sell 1 million, but it may sell enough to help, make some money for them.
Yeah, there's thousands of plans out there for 3D printing, and it's going to go to millions in the next year. You'll be able to download anything.
Yeah, but do you think, guys, it would change the way we...
Lost you, Christian?
Put together and then 3D printed out ready and just painted?
Well, you may not even have to paint them.
Yeah, the only thing you need to do is paint them, because you can print a 3D model as it is. You don't need any extra parts to put together if you have a good printer, so to say. They might be as good. You can print out a 1350 Enterprise as it is, and you just need to paint it.
Well, that's a question of how big the bed is on your printer.
Yeah.
Plus, if you want to open it up to light it.
Yep.
No, you can. Yeah, but you can print it with holes in it, with windows, with everything.
Yeah.
And you basically just put the top on, and that's it. So I think it maybe in a way changes the way models are built. So if you're like
looking at the technology in theory will let you incorporate electronics and everything into it. So you could literally print the whole thing with lights and everything.
Yeah,
already.
you can print whole circuits.
Yeah. It's for the future.
But the good thing is you can get sort of rare models. I don't know if anyone is aware of it, the SR1 from the game Mass Effect. I was looking for that as a model, but there is none except the paper model. And I was about to transfer the whole paper model into a 3D model and get it printed out at a local printing shop, but it's way too expensive right now. But I think that changed.
You wouldn't try paper modeling? James Frost, who unfortunately isn't here today, Christian.
No, I wouldn't try that. No, I don't know.
Well, you should chat to James. When you see his work and what he can do with paper, it's amazing.
Well, it's I see it as sort of like what they do with music now. You can go and download a song.
Yeah.
Parts, you could download parts, or if you wanted the whole kit, you could download the whole kit.
Yeah, it's true. It's come up to that time again, guys. I'm sorry today wasn't quite as smooth as I hoped it would be. I'm glad to have had you all here today. I just need to give a shout out to our sponsors as usual. Our sponsors of Across the Pond and Amazing Plastic include Tenna Controls. Ralph Tenaglia and his company bring models to life, and you can contact them at tennacontrols.com. The Fiber Optic Store for all your fiber optic needs, also fiberopticstore.com. And Aztec Dummy, yourself, Lou Dalmazo, for all your modeling masks. You can contact Lou at aztecdummy@att.net, I believe.
Yep.
Iwata Medea Airbrushes, also iwatamedea.com. PM Modelcraft in Calgary in Canada, sorry. Vallejo Paints for all your painting needs. And finally, I'd like to say thanks to all of our participants today who put up with my technical mishaps, and I hope Jack's back in his normal seat in 2 weeks' time. I'll keep fingers crossed. But I think I've enjoyed it a little bit today, even allowing for the cock-up.
Liam, are you wearing underwear? That's the important question.
Well, yes, I was going to put it on my head, but I thought it might not be suitable for YouTube broadcast. So, thanks, Andy Golightly. Thank you very much for coming today. Andy Johns, great to have you for the first time. Christian, also first time, fantastic. Lou, as always, and Randall, and fellow Northern Ireland modeler, great to see you today as well.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.